Welcome back to another episode of NBA Shorts. This is Trey Daubert. I have our Australian correspondent, Jarrod Prosser, here with me. We're actually re-recording this one. We assumed the Golden State Warriors were going to win that play-in game against the Grizzlies, but we're back at it again. Grizzlies are now taking on the Utah Jazz. Grizzlies came out hot. They kind of squeaked out a win in overtime against Golden State. But in terms of this matchup, the Grizzlies, do they have – I actually think maybe they have a better matchup compared to what Golden State did, just because they maybe have more options beyond like a Steph Curry. Golden State's or Memphis has like, hey, we have a Ja Morant. We have a Valanciunas down low. They have maybe more options. But does it matter?
This is a matchup where it's a very, very different matchup for Utah. Utah's strength is its flexibility. They can beat you in so many different ways. They can beat you with cuts. They can beat you with threes. They can beat you with defense. They can do all this different stuff. Against Golden State, it was pretty much what way do Utah choose to beat the Warriors against what can the supernova Steph do? With this matchup, it is what can that, because Utah's not a particularly deep team. They're all just really versatile players. Outside of maybe Gobert, who is just so good at what he does that it doesn't matter. Now, it's that versatility against Memphis's form of versatility where they don't have individuals who can do 7 or 8 different things, but they've got 15 players. That means they can adapt. They're the deepest squad in the league, bar none. So it's not so much that they can change styles with the same players, but they can mix and match their lineups to counter whatever Utah does. Now, whether that's enough, I don't know, because Utah is, as the records suggest, one team came in with the 9th best record, the other team came in with the best record in the league. So whether that's enough, I doubt it, but it will be a really interesting matchup. We hear it a lot, the coaching chess match. This could be a real coaching chess match.
Yeah, with Memphis, I almost think it's maybe more of an interesting matchup just because there's a lot of wild cards here, right? Can Ja Morant really take over a series? Because Mike Conley's kind of old. Can he keep up with a young gun like that? And then the second thing in my head is Dillon Brooks is almost a wild card on both ends of the spectrum. He could shoot Memphis out of a series, or he could shoot Memphis right into making something interesting.
Even defensively with Brooks, there are times when he there are times when he looks like a wall on defense, and there are other times when it almost seems like defense is the thing out the front of the house. Like he's just got no idea about it. But Ja, I think Royce O'Neal will spend a lot of time on Ja and just try and body him and push him away from his spots, because Mitchell is decent defensively, but he has a lot of offensive responsibility, and he also has he's going to be rusty. He hasn't played since mid-April. And you're right, Conley, as good a defender as he was in his prime, he's 33. He's not in his prime anymore. The worst matchup for Memphis in this regard is that Jonas Valanciunas, who has been their best player this season, with all due respect to Ja, comes up against Gobert. That is the single worst matchup that he could have hoped for as a first-round series in the entire Western Conference. So,
especially considering Gobert against Golden State would have had basically no problems.
Well, I mean, Curry would have put him on skates once or twice, and it would have been.
I mean, in terms of matching overall, up with a big guy.
No, that's exactly it. Overall, Gobert would have had an easy time against Golden State outside of a couple of memeable possessions. But in this contest, he's going to have to play Valanciunas one-on-one. But Valanciunas has been feasting on lesser centers, on people who aren't as physical, aren't as nimble, because he is surprisingly nimble. But I think that this is probably the worst series for Valanciunas. Without Valanciunas at his best, I think that Memphis will struggle.
The biggest thing for me is if Jaren Jackson Jr. was really healthy and he was dialing in on all cylinders and he was playing like he was a year ago, then maybe I'd give Memphis more of a realistic possibility here. But without that, because he didn't even play in the fourth quarter of that Warriors game. Without Jackson being on top of his game, it's hard to really give Memphis a real chance here.
It is a good point, though. If he can discover some of his old form, his pre-injury form, it's something that the Grizz haven't done. but they can play him as a stretch 5 and see whether they can take Gobert out of the paint. If Jackson can get hot, that's a really viable tactic for them.
Utah, they're the number 1 seed for a reason. I probably will take them in 6 games, 5 or 6 games.
I'll say
What's your
5.
prediction? Okay.
Yeah, I'll say 5. Jazz and 5.
All right. And that's going to do it for this episode of NBA Shorts. Jarrod has the Jazz in 5. I'll take them in 6. Maybe it gets interesting. Who knows? That's going to do it. Make sure to follow Jarrod. Hey _ it's _ JP. Myself, Trey Daubert. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Thank you guys for watching. And we will see you next time.